News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Trump said the United States will focus on fighting terrorism in Afghanistan, not nation building. In a televised address to the nation, the president said the United States will no longer be silent about safe havens in Pakistan. CBS News correspondent Major Garrett in Arlington, Virginia, said the president did not discuss deploying more troops.
A way forward in Afghanistan and Pakistan that the president says will increase security, but without those numbers, it's hard to measure and will be hard to measure in the future exactly how much progress is being achieved. One White House official told us tonight, we'll know progress when we see it.
The Halifax County Sheriff's Office has 4 people in the 50 to 70 age range have been killed at a home invasion near Enfield. A family member found the bodies after checking in on a home in the Glenview community. Halifax County Sheriff Wes Tripp tells WREL-TV.
He's very much upset, and I knew 2 of these people personally.
10 American sailors are still missing after the USS John S. McCain and an oil tanker collided early morning off the shores of Singapore. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
The focus now is on the destroyer's flooded compartments. They're still searching by air and sea for missing sailors, but they've also deployed divers to search inside the ship. The collision tore a hole in the USS John McCain and flooded some areas, including Sleeping Birds.
Authorities are investigating what led to a deadly officer-involved shooting on Monday night in Burke County. The suspect, whose name has not been released, died at the scene. An Onslow County judge has doubled the bond for a Marine accused in the hit-and-run death of a high school student. The North Carolina Highway Patrol says that 45-year-old Master Sergeant Remy Rodriguez of Hubert was driving a pickup truck on Friday when it ran off the road and hit 17-year-old Joseph Collins of Jacksonville. You're listening to NCN News.
North Carolina hospitals are transforming the way we deliver healthcare, investing in cutting-edge treatments and technologies to fight disease, investing in partnerships for preventive healthcare to keep our communities well, investing in training programs to ensure the next generation of world-class care providers, and making quality care in and out of the hospital our highest priority. Because we know what really matters is that hospitals are here for you when you need us. Find out more at healthiertomorrownc.com.
Want to cover the tax bill on your land? Outdoor Access helps landowners generate meaningful revenue by making your land available to our carefully screened members for daily recreational use. We protect you with $1 million insurance coverage, and you set the schedule, rules, pricing, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Whether you own 5 acres or 500, Outdoor Access can help you generate meaningful revenue. Call today at 919-853-7082. That's 919-853-7082 or OutdoorAccess.com.
Charges are pending against a woman in connection with a domestic violence incident on the UNC Chapel Hill campus that resulted in the death of a 5-year-old boy. The incident involving a husband, wife, and child happened after midnight Sunday in a single-family residence in the Beatty Hill family housing community. The man called 911 and told the dispatcher his wife stabbed him many times in the face while he was sleeping.
Does she have a weapon? She has a knife. I'll take it from her. I'll take the knife from her. Are you hurt? Are you cut? She stabbed me. She cut me. She cut me.
4 people accused of being members of the terrorist cell that killed 15 people in last week's dual attacks in Spain make their first court appearance today. Journalist Mario Magaro is in Barcelona. He says the 4 were arrested for alleged involvement in the planning or execution of the attacks.
Mohamed Haya is the owner of the Audi A3 model used by terrorists in Cambrils at the second terrorism attack. It was the vehicle they used to run over pedestrians after the attack on Las Ramblas.
Map makers are proposing new districts for members of the North Carolina Senate, a move forced after a federal court ruled Republicans illegally gave too much emphasis to race in the current version of legislative groupings. Details of the state Senate map are released on Monday. The Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority says 42 people were injured when a train crashed into a parked train at a station in suburban Philadelphia. Ron was a passenger on board the inbound Norristown high-speed train. He says before he got on, the train blew past his station and then backed up to pick up the passengers.
We got to the terminal. I stood up to get off and get ready to get to my bus on time, and smack, hit the other trolley, parked.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump claims it is a fresh approach to what has become the longest war in American history. No more troop numbers to be announced and no more descriptions of military activities in Afghanistan.
I will not say when we are going to attack, but attack we will.
Here's ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
He says Americans are weary of war without victory. He says he wants to win, and victory in his mind, he says, has a clear definition: attacking enemies, crushing Al-Qaeda, crushing ISIS, and preventing the Taliban from taking over Afghanistan, also stopping terror attacks here. But you could also argue that those are vague enough definitions of victory that they could claim this at any point and not be pinned down on specifics.
Defense Secretary James Mattis arrived in Baghdad this morning on an unannounced visit to Iraq just hours after the president's address. On his way there, he told reporters more about the strategy.
Our focus is on defeat ISIS inside Iraq, restore Iraqi sovereignty and territorial integrity. We see a long-term relationship with Iraq.
The mother of a sailor aboard the USS John McCain says she was relieved to finally hear from her son on Monday. He was not among the 10 still missing after the collision this week off Singapore. That woman's son has a broken bone. She says she can't imagine what it would be like to be the mother of one of the missing. Divers still searching the damaged hull of the destroyer in search of those 10 sailors. More than 40 people were hurt overnight after a commuter train crashed into a parked train in suburban Philadelphia. This is Upper Darby, Pennsylvania Mayor Tom Mikosi.
They've been dispatched to various hospitals. We have 4 seriously injured in trauma level.
Chaos and anger in Charlottesville overnight. First city council meeting since the protests that left one woman dead. Their decision to shroud Confederate statues in black fabric for now. You're listening to ABC News.
Prices are for base buildings only. Do not include windows, doors, or accessories. The economic recovery we've all been waiting for is finally here. Stocks are soaring, and construction spending across America has been on the rise. If you've been waiting to build, the time is now. Whether you want to expand your business or you want to build a new garage, call General Steel today at 888-98 Steel. Our metal building kits bolt together quickly and are custom designed for your needs. For example, a 40x60 is a great space for an auto shop, RV and camper storage, or 3-car garage. And if you call General Steel today, it's on sale now for under $25,000. Or imagine a 50x100 clear span building for under $40,000, suitable for the booming warehousing industry, manufacturing facilities, or a church sanctuary. That's 5,000 square feet for $8 or less per foot. Call 888-98 Steel. 888-98 Steel. With construction in high demand, this special pricing won't last long. Call to lock your building price today. Call 888-98 Steel. That's 888-987-8335.
President Trump to be in Arizona tonight. ABC's Alex Stone will be there, but others won't.
Highlighting the extreme political divide in this country, some high-profile Republicans will not be attending the president's rally tonight. Arizona's Republican governor will not be in attendance, saying he'll be too busy focusing on public safety instead. Another big-name Republican, Senator Jeff Flake, is skipping the event. Flake and Trump have been battling a bit recently. It comes as the mayor of Phoenix, who is a Democrat, asked President Trump to delay this trip, saying it's too soon since what happened in Charlottesville.
Awe-inspiring, amazing, totally cool. Just some of the words used to describe the great American eclipse experienced by millions on Monday. ABC's Matt Gutman was in Madras, Oregon when the skies went dark.
After so much anticipation, it arrived right on schedule. The celestial matinee turning night today in Lincoln City, Oregon, the first stop for totality. Next up, the place known as Solar City.
I'm almost speechless. The crowd here is absolutely ecstatic. I'm going to have our cameraman, Glenn, turn down the lights so you actually get a sense of how... Turn it off, Glenn. Let's see how dark it really is. It's pitch black here. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Madras, Oregon, going dark for 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Then that sliver of sun coming back.
Afterwards, an awe-inspiring traffic jam to leave. Matt says it took 3 hours just to get out of the parking lot in Madras. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know, Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale, has been part of the family for years. Your granddad, your dad, and now this generation is depending on the great inventory, excellent service, and better pricing. Listen to some of these items we need probably right about now. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 a bag. Dog food, fire and ant killer in spray and granular, flea and tick prevention, carpenter bee traps, weed killer, and so much more. Go see Scott and his team today at 770 Oakland Road, Spindale, and keep the family tradition going.
We've got a ridge of high pressure upon us again this afternoon. We're going to go mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Still not going to rule out an isolated shower or storm. It's summer. It's hot. Could pop a shower. The high in the low 90s. Tonight, maybe a shower or storm with the approach of our next cold front. It's partly cloudy with a low in the low 70s. And with the front in the area on Wednesday, we'll go partly cloudy. Still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. The high temperature in the upper 80s to low 90s. Behind the front on Thursday, it should be cooler with 70s and 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
We're starting out this morning. We're at pleasant temperature of 69, climbing up to 90 today with our heat index bumping up about 95. And only a slight chance of precipitation today, about 30% chance. That increases to 50 tomorrow, drops back to 20 on Thursday, and no rain in the forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. Doesn't that sound nice? But it's going to be kind of cooling down somewhat too. Friday, 82 degrees for the high, and on Friday night, 66. 66 on Saturday night and 66 again on Sunday night. Maybe that's given us a little bit of an insight into early fall, you think, maybe? I don't know. But right now, again, 69 degrees. And we're being kind to John Leach today, 78, over in Boston, having a birthday. We certainly want to wish him a happy. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Mrs. Carrie Lee Ponton, 74, of Forest City, died Saturday. The funeral will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at Crestview Baptist Church. The Reverend Kevin Rom and Reverend Kenneth Linder will officiate. Burial will follow in the First Baptist of Bostic Church Cemetery. Online condolences are available at washburndorsey.com for Mrs. Carrie Lee Ponton. Robert Leroy Hollywood Wilson, age 59, of Forest City, passed away Friday at Hospice House of Rutherford County. The funeral service will be conducted at 2:30 today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel with Rhonda Lawson officiating. Burial will be at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2:30 prior to the service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service has been entrusted with the arrangements. An online guest registry available at harrelsonfuneralhome.com. For Robert Leroy Hollywood Wilson. Kenneth Herschel McDaniel, age 89, of Forest City, passed away Friday at Hospice House of Rutherford County. The family will receive friends from 10:30 until 12 o'clock today at First United Methodist Church of Rutherfordton. The funeral service will be at First United Methodist Church Rutherfordton at 12 o'clock today with Keith Marion, Frank Bedell, and Reverend Tim Marsh officiating. Burial will be at Bills Creek Baptist Church Cemetery in Lake Lure. Online condolences can be made to MikeMahansFuneralHome.com for Kenneth Herschel McDaniel of Forest City. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. You can get the complete information on these and others as they become available to us. The next full obituary program is heard at 11:45 this morning, or 11:35 this morning, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. The most information for the foothills always available for you 24/7 from our website at www.wcab59.com, and you can hear us on the radio 24/7 at AM 590 and on Northland Cable Channel 5. And we say thanks to Northland Cable Channel 5. They have worked out the bad noise on Channel 5, so it's a good clear signal. Now, those of you who have been listening on Channel 5, we found out there are many who do that, and the signal is clear again, so you can listen that way if you choose. Now, Rutherford County Habitat for Humanity is collecting school supplies to be given out to the Rutherford County school students. Habitat Restore between now and Wednesday, August 23rd, and donate a new book bag to receive 20% off your entire purchase. Bringing a book bag full of supplies will save you 40%, so bring your items in today to Habitat for Humanity.
Drivers already pay higher taxes than almost anybody else in the country, and they're going to get hit again. Democrats in California plan to spend $52 billion on roads and infrastructure. And to pay for it, the Democrats in the legislature and the governor, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to raise taxes. 12 cents per gallon on gasoline, on top of what people are paying now. Diesel drivers, 20 cents per gallon. And if you drive an electric car to save the planet, guess what? You get hit with a $100 fee as your clean energy contribution. Other California voters are going to find out about other fees when you get walloped with them. The few Republicans left in the state, they're objecting, but they have no political power, so they may as well go out and play golf. They can't stop it. The unions, the construction industry, who are going to build all this new infrastructure, they're in bed with the Democrats. They're beside themselves with glee. They're going to hit the jackpot once this thing passes, which it will because it's a one-party state. Now, all of these higher taxes are going to hurt business, hurt low-income families, increase the cost of goods and services. People's standard of living is going to plummet. Nothing's new. It's California. You keep electing liberals, and higher taxes and a lower standard of living is just the way of life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the voice of the foothills, WCAB AM 590, also on Northland Cable Channel 5, celebrating 50 years of service in Rutherford County.
For our troops and their families, the military is more than a career. It's a journey, and every step along the way, the USO is there.
It's an experience that soldier will never forget. That's what the USO does.
From the time they join to the time they transition out of the military, the USO is there, offering programs and support along the way.
It's way more than a free phone call for us. It's that opportunity to stay mom, and the USO makes it all possible.
Be a part of their journey. Learn more today at USO.org.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Biddy Mason was born on August 15, 1818. At the age of 33, she came out west on a wagon train. She was herding cattle, cooking meals, and taking care of her 3 children that were fathered by her white master. For Biddy was a slave. Her masters, the Smiths, settled in San Bernardino, California. Although California had entered the Union as a free state, slaves could be maintained as long as the owners were in transit. The Smiths claimed to be in transit for the next 4 years. Then Robert Smith decided to move to the slave state of Texas. Biddy Mason had made acquaintances in the black community. When they heard about the impending move to Texas, they started legal action. A federal judge declared Biddy and her daughters free forever. Incidentally, a year later, the Supreme Court decided slaves could be taken to free states without any change in their status. Biddy and her children moved to Los Angeles, and she got a job as a midwife and nurse. Although she made only $2.50 a day, in 10 years she had saved $250, bought land and built a house, making her one of the first black women to own land in California. Eventually, this woman, who was a slave until she was almost 40 years of age, was worth about $300,000. In today's value, that's over $5 million. Biddy's home became the meeting place for Los Angeles' first black church. She said, "If you hold your hand closed, nothing good can come in. The open hand is blessed, for it gives in abundance even as it receives." Truly, Biddy Mason was one remarkable frontier woman. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Well, Seattle edged out the Atlanta Braves last night's game, 6-5. Mariners 6, Braves 5. They will go at it again this evening. At game, we pick up a pregame following News 13 at 6. Now let's get started with our call-around report here in the foothills. Find out what's been happening in the past 24 hours. And we start first with Sheriff Chris Francis. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you see the clips yesterday?
I certainly did. I shared some glasses with a few other deputy sheriffs and got to see that. Made sure everybody's eyes were safe, but it was very interesting for sure.
Quite a phenomenon, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Glad we had that experience.
Yes. Tell us what's been going on in your department in the past 24 hours.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 205 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed to county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 198. Among those arrests, Shaquille Marshawn Francis, a 24-year-old black male of Spindale, was charged with assault on a female and injury to property. We'll see a district court judge for bond. Jacob Lee Hull, a 33-year-old white male of Boston, was charged with failure to appear and received a $750 secure bond. Ashley Sabrina Cole, a 26-year-old white female of Ellenboro, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, received a $744 bond. Christopher Ray McDaniel, 34-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to comply and received a $1,500 secure bond. William Mitchell Harrell, a 27-year-old white male of Boston, was charged with communicating threats, assault and battery, and injury to property, received a $2,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a misdemeanor larceny on Baltimore Road in Ellenboro. A Tote-2 cell phone valued at $450 was taken in that incident. We also had a damage to property breaking and entering larceny on Harris Henrietta Road, where a pushmower valued at $275 was taken, as well as an air conditioning unit valued at $135, and a gate was damaged in the amount of $100. We also had a harassing phone call or text call off Midway Trail in Forest City, where the victim was receiving texts that were unwanted. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
All right, Sheriff, thank you very much for that report, and I hope you have a safe day out there, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, and take care.
All right, bye-bye. It's 18 now past the hour of 7 this Tuesday morning. A terrific Tuesday morning it is here in the foothills. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Jessica now can tell us what's been going on with the phone calls they've received at 911 Communications Center. Jessica, good morning. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 604 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 47 EMS calls, 12 for rescue. Law enforcement Sheriff's Office responded to 205, Forest City to 79, Lake Lure to 7, Rutherford to 32, Spindale to 15. Fire calls, Forest City responded to 2 motor vehicle accidents and a power line fire. Hudlow responded to 2 motor vehicle accidents. Rutherfordton to a motor vehicle accident, SDO to a motor vehicle accident, and Sandy Mush to a vehicle accident. And that's all we've got today.
Jessica, thank you very much. You have a great day.
You do the same.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's a for sure thing. Sisk Family Ford in Forest City is earning a quality reputation for offering an attractive inventory of new and used cars and trucks. If you want a new Ford truck, you'll be a smart shopper to let Sisk Family Ford quote you a deal. From a car for the newlywed to the car for the large family, let the Sisk Family Company help your family get the best deal. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
And let's check in with Ruby Taylor. She has the news from the Danieltown SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
Well, the fire department had 2 vehicle accidents. And on my birthday counter, I've got Ted White, Blake Dula, and Donnie Baldwin. And some lady named Faye Bishop's got a birthday today.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of that.
And you better be good to her.
Oh, I will.
And Mr. and Ms. Michael St. Paul have an anniversary. And I hope all these people have a nice day. And the signs are in the bows today and going to the rains tomorrow. And that's all I've got, Jim.
Ruby, thank you, and I appreciate it. And you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye. SDO, that's Shiloh, Danieltown, Oakland community. Now, if you want brand name carpet and floor covering and carpet that's going to last for a long time and keep their beauty for a long time, then you want to start first with Southern Carpet. They're the home of Bruce Hardwood. They're the home of Appalachian Hardwood, ceramic tile, Armstrong vinyl, Tarkett flooring, Shaw carpeting, and much, much more. Why don't you stop in and ask questions? All you want to ask about what's best for your decor in your home, how many rooms you have, how much traffic you have flowing through the room that you're going to be carpeting. They can answer all those questions with confidence to let you know that they know what they're doing. Largest selection of hardwoods and laminates in this area. Check with them when you want something done to your floors. Get a free estimate. Get expert installation. It'll be a company you'll be proud they have right here in Rutherford County. 1512 West Main Street. Look them up on Facebook if you like, or check them on the web at southerncarpet.net. Either way, you'll find Southern Carpet folks ready and able to assist you in any way you want to be assisted with floor covering and carpet. It's a great, great company. All right, we're heading up to the mountains, now up to Rumbling Ball, and see and talk with Steve this morning. Steve, how you doing?
Good morning, Jim. It's a muggy 69 degrees. A perfect day to lose our electricity.
Well, that's right. Y'all know
we're we're scheduled to do in about an hour. So we'll just wait and see what happens, and then we'll just respond to it as we can.
Well, now, will your generators run the air conditioner units as well?
I'm sorry?
Will your generators operate the air conditioners? Are they strong enough to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. When we purchased our generator, we made sure that was going to be sufficient.
Good, good.
Yeah, this building's surrounded by glass, and it heats up pretty quickly.
Good.
So we're good there. So we're all ready to roll up, and I see we all survived the eclipse. So we're doing good. We're batting 1,000.
Did you get a chance to see it?
I did. I got. I was riding around through it, some of it, and stopped just during the peak, and it was kind of eerie, like wearing dark sunglasses.
Right.
Is the experience I had. So, but and it was the sun was high in the sky without any clouds, and it was kind of weird. But it was kind of comical because the katydids started making noises like they do at sunset.
Yeah.
And I saw a groundhog jump out of the hole, like, what's going on? So I wish I'd gotten a picture of that, but nevertheless, it was just interesting.
It was an interesting day.
Yeah, it sure was. So we're good.
We'll have to wait a while to see another one, won't we?
Yeah, but I'm saving my glasses, so I want to buy another pair. I'll tell you, probably have some other technology by the time they experience it.
It's amazing how you can't see a thing through those glasses until you look at the sun, and all of a sudden it's there. But
there it is.
You can't walk around with them on for sure.
Absolutely, it was a sight to see. It was pretty interesting. So we got that experience behind us. Now we're moving on for the next one.
Yeah, good. So everything else is nice and quiet then.
Yes, sir. We're just waiting for the electricity to go out here in about 30, 45 minutes, I guess.
Well, you probably, although they probably know it, you're probably still going to get a lot of phone calls.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get tons of them. So maybe I should leave the phone off, the electricity off for about 30 minutes and then turn it down. I won't do that.
Listen, have a great day in spite of it.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
See you. Bye-bye. That's Steve reporting out of Brumley Ball this morning, 25 past 7.
Hello, this is Phyllis with Loveless Financial Group. Today I want to talk to you about a CD alternative. With rates at the bank averaging less than 1%, how can you earn at least 3% for 60 months? We check rates every Monday to see what is the best rate. Let's look at real money, not interest rates. $100,000 at 3%, the annual return is $3,000. $100,000 at a half of a percent is $500. So which do you want? Call me to set up a time to see if we can't help you get more income for you and your family. You can start with as little as $5,000 and you can add to this account at any time. With 35 years in the financial business, I've been helping people make the most with their money, and certainly for me, our friends, our clients, our family members have been a blessing to our business. If I can help you, or if you want to know more information, call me at Loveless Financial Group, 431 South Main Street in Rellerton, 828-288-1378. This is Phyllis saying bye for now.
Our high school football game of the week this week is going to be Chase and Cherville. Cherville at Chase, 6:45 countdown to kickoff, 7:30 kickoff. Join us for those games. If you can't make it out to the stadium, and I hope you will support your team in person, but if you can't make it out to the stadium, we'll have that on AM 590 as well as on Northland Cable Channel 5 and streaming on the World Wide Web as well. Now let's head over toward the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District, and Mr. Bob Hodge, good morning.
Well, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I see you survived the great eclipse there today.
I sure did. I was outside working, as a matter of fact, bringing in, loading, our newspapers got in yesterday, right about noontime, so I was out there loading those in the house and watched the sun go to eclipse while I was working. It's amazing how much it cooled down while that eclipse was in effect.
Yes, it did there, yeah. But there's still enough sun rays peeping out around it to not be completely dark, but it got dark enough my yard lights and stuff come on there.
That's amazing.
Yes, it was. So I guess we'll wait another 100 years and watch it again.
Well, it's supposed to be isn't there supposed to be a partial one in the next few years, a partial eclipse? Seemed like there is. I can't remember the dates on that.
Well, I think 2018 or something like that. 2024 there's going to be another total eclipse, but it just be in the northern part of the United States.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, it won't be here, so.
Well, I'm not sure if you and I'll be around for that one. Do you think so?
Well, no, I don't think we will. Oh. Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, we answered one accident call. That was a state DOT trimming trees on the side of the road on Highway 64 at Clemens Road, and the flagman was flagging cars, and the car didn't stop. He run over the flagman there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it hurt him pretty bad, but I think it was a broke leg, maybe a fractured hip and a head injury, so they transported him by helicopter to Spartanburg. So that was sort of a bad situation there. So,
well, did they arrest the driver?
I guess they did. But you know, it's dangerous. You gotta watch out for them when they're flagging there, because I won't believe I'd want that job myself.
I wouldn't want that job either.
No, because a lot of people, they don't look where they're going sometimes. So there, but
plus it gets awful hot out there in the summertime too.
Oh, it does. Yeah, that's right there. So you stand out there in that hot sun all day and everything. But and then we had a medical call, and that was it with the fire department. I want to say happy birthday to a wonderful lady this morning, Miss Bay Bishop there.
Boy, she sure is. I tell you right now, I've been real fortunate to have her in my life all these years.
I bet you have there, and you go out and treat her good today.
I'll see if I can buy her a hot dog or something.
Nah, don't take her to McDonald's now. You take her somewhere else there to get her a big steak or something there.
Yeah, I like the way you talk now. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me ask you, that accident, what road was that on?
Yes,
What road was that? Was that 64?
What now?
Where the flagman got hit. What road was that on?
Oh, 64.
64.
Going towards Cane Creek over at Westminster.
Yeah.
At 64 and Clemens Road.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, over that way. They've been trimming trees all out 64 this week on the side of the road and going that way, so that's where it was at there. So.
Well, I sure hope the flagman's going to be okay.
Well, I hope so. Fire department set up a landing zone over at Station 2, and they transferred him to Spartanburg, but he was alert and talking there some, but he had some pretty bad head injuries, and like I say, probably a fractured hip and a broken leg and all that. So,
thank goodness.
Yeah, but I hope he'll be okay there. But that's a sort of unfortunate situation, you know, that happens like that. So, but everybody ought to be watching when you come up, because they have signs set way back ahead before you ever get there.
They sure do, yeah.
And everything.
As aggravating as it is, sometimes they have to stop when you're in a hurry, but you sure need to stop and obey those people, because they're right there doing their job.
That's right. That sure is there. Well, Jim, I hope you have a good day there, and you take Faye out now, and have a good evening, and I'll talk to you in the morning.
Thanks, Bob. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
32 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this terrific Tuesday morning, and we'll get over to the next phone call just a moment right after we visit Miracle-Ear. I'm proud to have a company like Miracle-Ear as part of our family of advertisers here on the Morning Report. They got such a worldwide great reputation. But it's an American-made product, and we have a lady over there that runs the Forest City and Shelby office by the name of Lisa Terry. And, boy, she's helping a lot of your friends with their hearing. If you begin to notice symptoms from someone you love, it may be time to talk to them about Miracle-Ear. Lisa is a licensed hearing instrument specialist, and she loves her patients, and the patients love her. She has a real desire to help you if you think you might have a hearing loss. No obligation to go in for this free hearing test. No obligation to go in and talk with Lisa about questions about the different kinds of hearing instruments. Why don't you do that today? Maybe call her at 447-7716. She's in the Forest City office on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's 447-7716. And Miracle-Ear is in the same building there with Southern Carpet. Call them today. Again, that phone number is 447-7716. Cherry Mountain Fire District is our next stop, and that's where we'll find Sue Price. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
Hope you're doing well today.
I am. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
It's a nice morning over here. I started out at 67 degrees, but it's going to get warm again. That's okay. It's August. And let's see, I don't have any calls from the fire department. The only birthday I have on my calendars is on my personal calendar, and that's for Faye Bishop. So, happy birthday, Faye. I hope you'll have a good one. And in my announcements, the chopped sirloin supper coming up Saturday, August 26th from 4 to 8 p.m. Chopped sirloin, baked potato, fries, salad bar, bread, homemade desserts. Adults are $9, children are $6, and that's over at the Hopewell Hollis Community Clubhouse. And they always have a wonderful supper. And so far, that's the only announcement I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks very much, Sue. Enjoy your day, too, and enjoy the beauty of your section over there of the county, and I'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304.
Hot temperatures on the highway can be brutal on your automobile. RS Speedy Lube is there to help keep your automobile running clean. Keep the oil changed regularly. They'll check the fluids and vacuum the car. Next door, get the service you need on brakes, radiator, exhaust, CV joints, and radiator flush. RS Service Center also includes service on big trucks and campers. For the best car wash, it's the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash. RS Speedy Lube Service Center is a complete service center inside, outside, and down under Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
One ring-a-dingy, two ring-a-dingies. Is this the party to whom I'm speaking?
It most certainly is.
Good morning, Brenda Kelly.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm glad to hear that on, let's see, Terrific Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. Exactly.
The day
right.
after.
Oh, I tell you, it was quite a day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I went down to my neighbor's house, and my sister lives over here in the woods behind me. She come down, and so we sat out on her front porch, and it did get cool. I was amazed, at how cool it got.
Yeah.
And the birds were chirping like they do early in the morning. and we kept running out there and looking at up at the sky, and my sister turned around and she told my neighbor's husband, she said, "You got a yellow jacket's nest right there." He said, "How do you know it?" She said, "Don't you see them going in and out?" So they must have thought it was nighttime too.
Yeah, that'd been a good time to have sprayed for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he said, "Well, I'm glad to know that's there, so I don't get into it when I cut the grass." But we had a good time. But what amazed me most about it was they had said if you'll stand under a tree and look down, you can see it on the ground, and sure enough, you could.
Oh,
really? That was just amazing to me to watch it down on the ground as well as up in the air.
I didn't think about that. Now, that would have been good. You did have to have glasses for that.
No, and you could have took pictures of it, but none of us have our camera or nothing out there, so it was something else.
Yeah, it was fascinating to watch that. I'm glad the kids at school got to see something like that, because I'm sure they'll study that for some time yet.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will. But we was out and about last night, and I seen a tag had Massachusetts on it. I said, I wonder if they come down here just to see the eclipse. Well, there was a lot of people around, wasn't there?
There were really a lot of people, and I don't understand the strip that he made for the full eclipse. Certain sections of the country, some of us just got almost to full, but you could go to Brevard, you could see a full eclipse. Go down to Greenville and Clemson area, they had a full eclipse. But it was close enough for me to be.
Oh yeah, it was what, 99
something like 98, 99, and when you look at it, it's this little tiny crescent.
Oh yeah, and it was pretty. Yeah. And I'm like you. It amazed me that you put them glasses on, you can't see absolutely nothing till you look at the sun.
I know.
That was something else. But anyway, we hope everybody had a good time and enjoyed it.
Hope nobody got their eyes burned.
Oh, I hope not either. Yeah. I've got 65 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays and anniversaries today. I've got Joy Mossberg, Tony and Vanessa Williamson anniversary. Tyler Lowry, Shirley Coon, and Miss Faye Bishop. We hope she has a good day, and all the rest of these people. I don't have none on any of the rest of my calendars and ways of announcements. We got the community lunch at the community house today at noon on Hudlow Road here in Union Mills. Then we got a country breakfast buffet Saturday, August the 26th, 7 to 10 a.m., White House Community Center, and this is on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills. Adults is $6, children 6 to 12, $3, under 6 free. They've got all kind of good food to eat. You can rent their clubhouse for your family reunion, birthday party, or other special events, and you can call 828-625-4502 for details. And other than that, I don't have nothing. It's just short, sweet, and quiet.
All righty. Well, let's see. Now we have a lunar eclipse every once in a while too. When the next one of those will happen?
No, I don't know.
When the moon is eclipsed.
I don't know. But yeah, I heard them say something about something in 2078. I said I'll not be living for that one.
You're not going to hang around for that one?
Well, I'd hope that I could, but I'd be awful feeble probably.
Oh, yeah, I've stumbled to the door to look at
I'll look at it from up above.
There you go. Well, I appreciate the report, and I hope your day continues to be well, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, have a good one.
Thanks,
Catch you
Brenda.
later.
Bye-bye. That's the Cali Report from Upstate Union Mill, 740, right here on the terrific Tuesday morning report. High school football action, as I mentioned earlier, Cherville and Chase play on the radio, and we'll have East at North Gaston, RS at Morgan Patton, and Greenwood Raptors, South Carolina, coming over to Thomas Jefferson on Friday night.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills most sports station, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
And the Mariners edged out the Braves last night, 6-5, and they'll be at it again this evening. We'll see if the Braves can pull out another win. All right, now let's go over to Ellenboro. Mr. Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning to you two. It's nice day down here this morning. We're going to have a good time today.
Have a good time in the old town today.
Have a good time. Going to have a great time. It's quiet this morning. Nothing going on this morning. Everything happened yesterday. Nothing the rest of the day this morning. The first one, they had 5 medical calls, 1 tree down yesterday. Very quiet this morning. Things are peaceful. Maybe it'll stay that way today, and nothing else happening. Well, see, we're having a revival down at High School Church down here tonight and tomorrow night. So everyone's invited down there. It started at 7 o'clock. Church. Well, Reverend Mike Frazier, he'll be doing speaking, so everyone's invited down here. Mike speak. This is what was halfway anniversary. Dave Stone and Shannon Morrison is having one. And David and Kelly Bean, they're having wedding anniversary today. Hope these young people have a great day and enjoy their day. If nothing else happening down here, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Keep us posted on what's happened over there, and we'll see you next time.
All right, take care now.
Bye. That's the Ellenboro reporter, Luther Gilligan, on the radio this morning. It's 7:43, and we'll take some time now to celebrate your birthday. Your birthday and anniversary for this 22nd day of August. You can call it in to us now. We've cleared the phone lines, 287-3356, birthdays and anniversaries, and we'll give away some of those delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Folks are loving those. So call your birthday in right now. Todd's standing by to take your call.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. If you suffer from foot or ankle pain, you should know there's advanced care available to you right here in Rutherford County. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics is the only fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon in our region. Now, what does that mean for you? It means a greater level of expertise that comes through advanced studies and research. You have options when it comes to foot and ankle care. So, learn more. Visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to John Leach. He's of Bostic, retired, turned 78. He's our newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame this morning. Other folks celebrating include Jonathan Fish of Sandy Mush, Lisa Scudioso, Brandon Taylor, Rutherford, works over at Facebook, also celebrating a birthday today. Joy Mossberg is having a birthday. Tony and Vanessa Williamson's anniversary is today. Tyler Lowry having a birthday. Shirley Coon celebrating. And I want to make a personal happy birthday wish to my lovely bride, Faye Bishop, is celebrating a birthday today. Getting younger all the time. Happy birthday, dear. We'll find out who's going to win that cake. It won't be her, but we'll find out who's going to win that cake here in just a moment. Not a cake, it's a Davis donut. It's a Daylight donut. That's who it is. So confused this morning. Must be the solar eclipse that got my mind mixed. I know. We'll find out who's going to win those Daylight donuts here in just a moment.
March 6, 1987, Eben Coghlan, the Irish world record holder at 1,500 meters, was running in a qualifying heat at the World Indoor Track Championships in Indianapolis. With 2.5 laps left, he was tripped. He fell, but he got up and with great effort managed to catch the leaders. With only 20 yards left in the race, he was in third place, good enough to qualify for the finals. He looked over his shoulder to the inside, and seeing no one, he let up. But another runner, charging hard on the outside, passed Coghlan a yard before the finish, thus eliminating him from the finals. Coghlan's great comeback effort was rendered worthless by taking his eyes off the finish line. It's tempting to let up when the sights around us look favorable. The key to finishing well in life is to keep our eyes on the goal line. Don't let up. Don't be weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for today's Key to Confident Living are available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS. That number again, toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And congratulations to Jonathan Fish of Sandy Mush. He won the delicious Daylight Donuts this morning. Jonathan Fish, our winner today, lives over in Sandy Mush, and we'll have a certificate over here, Jonathan. Stop by and pick those up and go enjoy those Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Now, coming up the next hour, we got some stuff we want to talk about. Maybe we'll open the phone lines for you as well. I want to get your thoughts on the monument removal that people are so upset about, the offending, the offensive nature of so-called offensive nature of these monuments. I'd like to get your public opinion, what you think about it. Open the phone lines after a bit. Andrew Tisdale is going to be on with us here in a few minutes as well. He's on the road, but we'll get his report via telephono this morning. Right now, though, we're going to enjoy this.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender, pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend too much. I'm lonely, but no one can tell. Whoa, yes, I'm the great pretender, adrift in a world of my own. I play the game, but to my real shame, you've left me to dream all alone. Too real is this feeling of make-believe. Too real when I feel what my heart can't conceal. Yes, I'm the great pretender, just laughing and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown, pretending that you're still around. Too real is this feeling of make-believe. Too real when I feel what my heart can't conceive. Yes, I'm the great pretender, just laughing and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown, pretending that you're still around. Still
Rayleigh. Some of the sailors are still missing after a collision involving a U.S. destroyer and an oil tanker off Singapore on Monday. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick has the latest.
Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral Scott Swift says Navy and Marine Corps divers have been searching the ship, which he said suffered significant damage.
The divers were able to locate some remains in those sealed compartments.
The Malaysian Navy has also reported finding one body. An investigation is underway into what happened, and as to reports the ship's systems may have been hacked, Swift says he's seen no indication of that.
Just days after Duke University removed a statue of General Robert E. Lee, the mayor of Chapel Hill is calling for another Confederate monument to be taken away. Governor Roy Cooper called for the statues to be removed last week, but Representative Darren Jackson of Wake County tells ABC 11 his constituents are divided.
I'm very concerned about what's going to happen around the Silent Sam statue in the next week or two, and I think that we should return this ability to make these decisions back to the communities and to the university system, let them do what they need to do.
President Trump laid out his policy for Afghanistan in a speech last night to the nation. CBS's Major Garrett tells us the strategy involves sending more U.S. troops to Afghanistan.
NATO nations are also expected to provide more troops and a bit more financing. The White House said repeatedly this new strategy will be judged on its results, not held to a timeline, but asked to describe what, quote, winning will look like. One senior advisor said only, we will know what progress looks like.
Authorities in Orange County say they anticipate charging a 34-year-old woman with first-degree murder after a domestic incident on the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's campus left her 5-year-old son dead. And authorities are investigating what led to a deadly officer-involved shooting Monday night in Burke County. You're listening to NCN News.
This is Brian Geisinger from the ACC Sports Journal. Here's a look what we have at ACCSports.com today. How much does each ACC school spend on its football program? Which school spends the most? Which school spends the least? You can find out answers to all of these questions by heading to the ACC Business News page at ACCSports.com. How will the Duke Blue Devils utilize Marvin Bagley next season in Durham? You can find out how Duke's star recruit will be a primary force in Duke's motion offense by heading to the ACC Analytics tab. And don't forget our 2017 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out. Coverage for all 14 teams along with Notre Dame. You can order your copy online or pick one up at Barnes & Noble. For the latest news on the Demon Deacons, Blue Devils, Tar Heels, Wolfpack, and of course the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com. I'm Brian Geisinger.
President Trump has scheduled to hold a campaign-style rally in Phoenix tonight. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman reports the city is bracing for possible clashes between protesters and people who support the president.
The big concern, of course, is the possibility of confrontations, even violence, between supporters and opponents of the president. Inside the convention center, Mr. Trump will address some of his most loyal supporters, but outside the convention center will be protesters who strongly oppose many of the Trump policies.
A vandalized wall was discovered on Monday at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park in Raleigh. The message seemed to be promoting peace. The statue and garden area at the park were not damaged. Shebawanda Parker, who owns a beauty salon near the gardens, told ABC 11 she was very relieved but still considers it a crime.
Very relieved, but still they could have done something. It's still considered a crime.
A federal judge has cleared the way for a former Salvadoran colonel to be sent to Spain to face charges that he helped plot the notorious killings of 6 priests during his country's civil war. Judge Terrence Boyle in Charlotte ruled Monday that a federal magistrate was correct last year in approving the extradition of Incente Orlando Montano Morales. Spanish authorities have charged him with terrorist murder in the 1989 killings of the Jesuit priest, most of whom were from Spain. Has your cell phone been hit by hackers? Over to CBS's Vicki Barker.
Turns out our so-called smartphones are also our weakest online links. The New York Times reports hackers have been calling providers like Verizon and AT&T and getting them to transfer control of a victim's phone number over to them. Within minutes, they can reset passwords on every device and every account that uses that number as a security backup.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
24/7 WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com. I'm Sherry Preston. Divers have been searching the damaged hull of the USS John McCain following the early morning collision this week between the American destroyer and an oil tanker off the coast of Singapore. Today, Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral Scott Swift announced a grim discovery.
The divers were able to locate some remains in those sealed compartments during their search today. Additionally, the Malaysian Navy has reported that they have located potential remains.
The remains found in flooded parts of the ship, which has now been docked. The commander of U.S. Naval Operations has ordered a comprehensive review to get to the root causes of this collision and others in recent months. President Trump laying out his strategy for the war in Afghanistan.
President Trump's Afghanistan speech Monday night included few specifics. He said he wouldn't detail troop levels, wouldn't give timelines for military action or withdrawal, and he provided vague metrics to determine victory. The Trump doctrine in the region now centers on his promise to kill terrorists, not build nations. The president has criticized previous administrations for what he said was an open-ended war. But with this speech, he essentially laid out a similar game plan. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Defense Secretary James Mattis arrived in Baghdad today for a surprise visit to Iraq. Tonight, President Trump holds a campaign rally in Phoenix. ABC's Alex Stone will be there.
Concerns over problems here tonight in the wake of events surrounding Charlottesville have much of downtown. Offices, shops, schools, and even courts closing to send employees and students home before planned protests begin. Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams.
We want this protest, or we want this event to be peaceful, but there is a distinct difference between voicing your First Amendment rights and committing unlawful acts.
Pleas are being made here that protesters obey the orders of police tonight. Alex Stone, ABC News, Phoenix.
Over 40 injuries, none life-threatening in a suburban Philadelphia train collision overnight. You're listening to ABC News.
Over 70 million Americans have unhealthy blood pressure levels. Are you one of them? Introducing Berkeley Life, a 100% drug-free supplement to help maintain normal, healthy blood pressure while supporting energy and vitality. Now, for a limited time, try Berkeley Life free. Call 800-708-7115. A key to maintaining healthy blood pressure is your body's nitric oxide levels. Berkeley Life helps to boost nitric oxide levels naturally. The breakthrough is from a discovery which won a Nobel Prize in Medicine on nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream. Berkeley Life includes free saliva test strips to see your levels instantly. Now there is a supplement you test yourself and can see it's working. In a consumer study, 91% felt healthier after taking Berkeley Life for just 3 weeks. Here's Dan, an actual Berkeley Life user.
There were positive effects, more energy, more clarity. Another great thing is I don't have to worry about my blood pressure levels anymore.
Get your free 30-day supply. Call 800-708-7115. Just pay shipping and handling. 800-708-7115. 800-708-7115. Results may vary.
There were protests in Charlottesville last night as the city council met for the first time since last weekend's deadly discoveries.
You let citizens get attacked. You let citizens get murdered. That girl, I knew that girl. You let her get murdered.
Several people stepped up to the mic saying police and city officials didn't do enough to stop the violence in Charlottesville. One decision that was made to shroud those Confederate statues in the city in black fabric for now in honor of Heather Heyer, who was killed. A key figure in the dossier that figured uncorroborated allegations about President Trump will be questioned today on Capitol Hill.
The controversial document funded by wealthy Republicans contained unverified claims of then-candidate Donald Trump's ties to Russia. Glenn Simpson, the former Wall Street Journal reporter who hired the ex-British spy that compiled it, will answer questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee, as Chairman Chuck Grassley announced last month.
Mr. Simpson agreed to a transcribed staff interview about, number one, his involvement in creating the Trump dossier.
The dossier and its salacious allegations President Trump called phony stuff that didn't happen. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
On their way to Greenville Memorial Hospital in South Carolina on Monday, Freedom and Michael Eubanks decided that if their baby, who was due shortly, was born on the day of the eclipse, they would name her after it. Well, Eclipse Eubanks came into the world at 8 a.m. yesterday, 6 pounds, 3 ounces. She's got a full head of totality hair. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
I'm Sherry Preston.
We've got a ridge of high pressure upon us again this afternoon. We're going to go mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Still not going to rule out an isolated shower or storm. It's summer. It's hot. Could pop a shower. The high in the low 90s. Tonight, maybe a shower or storm with the approach of our next cold front. It's partly cloudy with a low in the low 70s. And with the front in the area on Wednesday, we'll go partly cloudy. Still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. The high temperature in the upper 80s to low 90s. Behind the front on Thursday, it should be cooler with 70s and 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
That cooler part sounds pretty good for us toward the weekend. It is indeed. On Sunday night, it'll be 66, Saturday night 66, and Friday night 66. Just perfect for high school football weather, isn't it? But we're going to stay around 90 today with the heat index around 95. Currently, we are at 70 degrees under sunny skies. The sun is back in full speed again after hiding itself away yesterday. Back in full speed, and we're happy to see it. Congratulations to Jonathan Fish of Sandy Mush. He won the De La Donuts from Granny B's this morning. And we're being kind to John Leach of Bostic. He's 78 today. I want to wish him a happy birthday, as well as Jonathan Fish, both celebrating with us right here on WCAB in Rutherford. Now I'm looking on the Be Kind to wall over here. Looks like we have Monday, August the 28th open, and Thursday, the 31st open for Be Kind to. So either of those work with you or your friends on birthdays or anniversaries. Call Todd now at 287-3356. Well, it's Tuesday morning, and we have Andrew Tisdale with us to talk about financial advising, or advise us about some financial issues. He's with Edward Jones, making sense of investing. We have him on the phone this morning, far away. Good morning, Andrew. How are you doing?
Hey, Jim, Rutherford County. How's it looking back home?
Oh, it's sunny and bright over here. Did you see the eclipse where you were yesterday?
I did. I saw 99.8% of totality here in St. Louis, Missouri. It was a beautiful sight. Yeah. Beautiful sight.
That's about what we got out here, so I thought maybe you might have seen the full thing out there. But so
we were just out of the range.
How are things going with your conference?
It's going great. Edward Jones is really good at calling us out here every now and then to get us reacclimated and tell us what's going on so we can get back and serve our people very well.
Well, you're to be commended for being one of the ones chosen, one of the chosen few, huh?
That's right. Maybe I guess if we do our job, they'll just say, come on up here so you can do it some more.
There you go.
That's what we want to do.
Well, give us some words of wisdom this morning.
One thing that we've been talking about is the state of the market being like a roller coaster. That's nothing new. That's something that happens all the time. It's been throughout history. And since August 16th was National Roller Coaster Day, I'm sure a lot of people knew that. Here's some strategies that we are looking at and has been tried and true tested on how to set your portfolio up so you can ride that roller coaster and enjoy it. Here's some strategies. Number one, know what's in front of you. If you've ever ridden a roller coaster in the dark, you may kind of find it scarier than if you boarded it in the daylight. After all, it can be kind of unsettling not to know where you're going. This is the same about investing, especially if you're planning for retirement. If you have no idea what's in front of you, if you have no idea where you're going, you kind of might find that journey a little unnerving. And if that happens, you may make some really panicky decisions, and panicky decisions are usually bad ones. So prepare for the market volatility. That's history. That's going to happen. It's a normal part of the investment landscape. Also, if you're ever riding in a roller coaster, just buckle up. When you're on a roller coaster, you may want to have the excitement of the ride, but you really certainly don't want to take any unnecessary risk. And you can enjoy some of the excitement of investing without incurring more risk than you're really comfortable with. And you want to take some time, especially at this time where the market is take a look at it. Are you diversified well enough to be able to minimize the risk and maximize the gain? And actually, everybody needs to choose a strategy for their journey. Different people all have different ways of handling the roller coaster ride. Some really like to throw their hands up in the air and enjoy the feel of abandon, while others hold on real tight my daughter Mary Grace, we rode the Mako down in Florida this past year, and she held onto my arm and buried her head right in my side, and then when she got off, she said she had the funnest time of her life. When you invest, you also need a strategy that works for you, and the best one may be the simplest. Buy quality investments and hold them for the long term. How long is that? 10, 20, 30 years. Here's what Warren Buffett says. He says, my favorite holding period is forever. If you have a good chosen mix of quality investments, you may be able to hold on to them until either your goals change or actually the investments themselves undergo some change. And think about a roller coaster. When you buckled in, you're in for the whole ride. You're not going to come off. That's the same thing when you're planning for retirement or long-term goals. Stay in the seat. In the early stages, if you get out and you may miss some early stages of a rally, it's called sequence of returns. Stay in your seat, enjoy the ride, and you're going to reach your goals. You can take all the twists and turns of investment, but by following these strategies, you can actually make this ride less stressful.
Sound advice from a man who knows what he's talking about. Mr. Andrew Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones. Office is located at 173 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 287-9197. And he's recharging batteries, redoing energy, and getting more concepts and ideas on how to make your monies work for you better. And Drew, thanks so much for your report long distance.
Hey, I'm glad I got to, and if anybody's in the neighborhood, stop in and make sure Lisa's still doing a great job.
There you go. She'll have coffee without you, right?
Yep, and she'll have it ready for you.
All right, Andrew, have a safe trip back out here.
Bye.
See ya. Andrew Tisdale reporting from St. Louis this morning on his report. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we'll continue. I want to talk a little bit in just a few minutes about the monuments being torn down and the statues of Confederate soldiers. Get your thoughts on that. So get a thought together, and we're going to open the phone lines here in a few minutes. I'd like to hear from you, see what you think about it. You think it's okay, or if you think it's not okay, and why do you feel the way you feel about that? Should we leave them alone, or should we tear down anything that has to do with the Confederacy and the Southern, the Civil War and those kind of things? Let me know what you think about it. Coming up here in just a minute.
I know what I want from my energy company. I want to know that my power is always on and that my energy is cleaner, safer, and affordable. That's why as a Duke Energy lineman, I'm working hard to make that possible. I feel honored to serve our community. It's a good feeling knowing that I'm helping to build a smarter, reliable energy future for all of us, for my family and for yours.
Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Here's some stories from here and there. Bob Hodge talked about this morning from up in the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District about a traffic flagman hit while on the job. A middle-aged man who was directing traffic around a tree clearing job off US 64 was struck by a vehicle Monday morning. According to Matt Taylor of the Department of Transportation, tree trimmers were clearing trees along a section of US 64 near Crescent Circle for DOT when the flagman, also a contract worker, was hit as he was directing traffic at the work site. Taylor said he was told the truck driver who hit the contract worker couldn't get his vehicle stopped for the car in front of him that had been flagged down. As the driver passed the stopped vehicle to avoid hitting the car, the flagman was hit. The man was transported by Rutherford County EMS to the Hudlow Fire Department and Station Number 2. He was airlifted by Regional 1 to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center with serious injuries. Taylor said he was told the injuries didn't appear to be life-threatening but were serious. The names of the victim and driver were not known as at press time Monday evening by the Daily Courier. The Highway Patrol investigating that accident. We certainly hope he's going to be okay. Well, many folks were watching the eclipse yesterday. Many various eclipse parties were being held across the county yesterday and across the state and other sections of the county. But other things were taking place in anticipation of that. Rutherford County gets a fixed wireless internet. Congressman Patrick Henry was in the area yesterday along with AT&T officials and the county commissioners. The AT&T has announced they will be providing rural and underserved locations in Rutherford County with fixed wireless internet. They say the service delivers a home internet connection with download speeds of at least 10 megabytes. AT&T says the connection comes from a wireless tower to a fixed antenna on customers' homes or their business. They say they plan to reach over 13,000 locations across North Carolina by 2020 with this technology. Congressman Patrick McHenry said, as we rebuild our economy in western North Carolina, retooling the workforce to succeed in the global marketplace is vital, especially for displaced workers. Congressman McHenry also was in town yesterday, held a lunch and learn session with the Chamber of Commerce in a meeting yesterday morning. 20-25 folks attended that luncheon, and then he moved over to the foundation last night for a town meeting with folks talking about issues of concern to them. Congressman Patrick McHenry in the area. Other stories this morning: 7 transported to hospital after a wreck. The driver of a 2006 Chevrolet went left of center last Friday afternoon while driving on Union Road near Rutherfordton and struck a 2017 Nissan driven by Stephen Tiller of Rutherfordton. According to the Daily Courier, the North Carolina Highway Patrol Anthony Rugland of Landrum, South Carolina, crossed over the center line and hit Tiller. Sergeant Mark Klein of the Highway Patrol said it was reported as a head-on, but it was more front bumper to front bumper. Rugland was transported from the scene to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. He was later discharged. Tiller and his wife and 4 young children were all taken to Rutherford Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Rugland was charged by Trooper W.S. Morrow with unsafe tires and traveling left of center. Meanwhile, the Daily Courier is also reporting about a Rutherford attorney who pled guilty and is disbarred. The North Carolina Bar Fall 27 Journal reported that Rutherford County Attorney Marvin Sparrow pled guilty and was convicted of 3 misdemeanor counts of assault on a female in Buncombe County Superior Court. All 3 counts occurred in the Rutherford County Detention Facility. Earlier, Sparrow of Rutherfordton surrendered his law license and was disbarred by the Wake County Superior Court. Rutherford County Sheriff Chris Francis said his office had begun to receive complaints about the behavior, and he turned the case over to the State Bureau of Investigation. According to reports, as an attorney, Sparrow had special privileges when meeting his clients for a consultation in the jail. With the poor security in the jail in the booth used for attorney-client consultations, he abused some of his female clients. In at least one case, Sparrow traded drugs for a look at the private body parts of an incarcerated inmate. For another, he wanted to watch a piercing in the intimate area. Sparrow was not prosecuted in Rutherford County due to his extensive long-term relationship with the legal community. District Attorney Ted Bell provided the following statement. Having been an attorney in Rutherford County for over 30 years and as the most senior and most experienced defense attorney, Marvin Sparrow had been a friend and mentor to every attorney in the courthouse and to every prosecutor in the district attorney's office. To ensure that those relationships did not influence or even give the appearance of influence in the handling of this matter, as soon as the allegations came to light, we referred the case to the SBI for investigation and to the North Carolina Attorney General's office for all prosecution decisions. Sparrow was given to a 120-day sentence that was suspended, received unsupervised probation, and 120 hours of community service. Meanwhile, an apparent electrical fire at the home of Brent Jennings of Sherrill Street in Forest City caused fire and smoke damage throughout the house on Sunday. According to the Courier, a neighbor reported the fire at 2 p.m. as Jennings was out of town at the time. The fire started in a room where a lamp and television were located, and Captain Billy Samuels of Forest City Fire and Rescue said it was an electrical fire. The fire was confined to one room, but smoke damaged the rest of the house. Farrell Hemrick, the fire chief in Forest City, said once the fire consumed all the oxygen, it began to burn down on its own and was almost out when we got there. The cinder block home is owned by Denise Gardner. There were no injuries in this fire. 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, the sheriff's report is coming up here in just a few minutes.
Hey, this is Addie Lavender for the gift shop at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. Guess what we have? We have Forgotten Rutherford County, a book by my dad and local author Todd Lavender. It is a hardbound book with over 300 pages of stories, facts, history, pictures, and memorabilia from long ago. Come in today for your copy of Forgotten Rutherford County by Todd Lavender at the gift shop at Smith's Drugs in downtown Forest City.
The Arledge Law Firm and attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, and Martin Sherrard offer years of experience and expertise to provide a wide range of legal services, from real estate closings, Medicaid planning, asset protection, and probate, to litigation of any description. Call 287-3338 for a consultation, or visit them at 120 East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Gerald, Kent, Martin, and their staff stand ready to go to work for you. You know, it's easy to get caught up in all the trappings and all the fancy decorations and all the fancy displays at grocery stores, but that costs you a whole lot of money. If you're not interested in the trappings and all the fancy decor, but you want to save on your groceries and still eat well, then you'll be attracted to Jay's Discount Grocery. If you're interested in buying groceries and saving money at the same time, then head yourself over to Jay's Discount Grocery this week. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturdays, 8 until 8 at night. Debit cards honored, EBT cards honored, and they have top choice meats cut fresh daily. Yep. Fresh fruits and vegetables every Monday, Thursday, and Friday at Jay's Discount Grocery, and you'll find them on Oak Street, Forest City, over behind the hospice resale shop. So don't be misled by fancy decorations. Follow up on the discount groceries at Jay's Discount Grocery. Now, Sheriff Chris Francis was on the air with us earlier. He gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff?
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 205 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed at county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 198. Among those arrests, Shaquille Marshawn Francis, a 24-year-old black male of Spindale, who's charged with assault on a female and injury to property, will see a district court judge for bond. Jacob Lee Hull, a 33-year-old white male of Boston, was charged with failure to appear and received a $750 secure bond. Ashley Sabrina Cole, a 26-year-old white female of Ellenboro, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, received a $744 bond. Christopher Ray McDaniel, 34-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to comply and received a $1,500 secure bond. William Mitchell Harrell, a 27-year-old white male of Boston, was charged with communicating threats, assault and battery, and injury to property, received a $2,000 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a misdemeanor larceny on Baltimore Road in Ellenboro. A Tote 2 cell phone valued at $450 was taken in that incident. We also had a damage to property breaking and entering larceny on Harris Henrietta Road, where a pushmower valued at $275 was taken, as well as an air conditioning unit valued at $135, and a gate was damaged in the amount of $100. We also had a harassing phone call or text call off Midway Trail in Forest City, where the victim was receiving text that were unwanted. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
This is the voice of the foothills, WCAB AM 590, also on Northland Cable Channel 5, celebrating 50 years of service in Rutherford County.
Well, a side note from yesterday's eclipse, the Cary, North Carolina couple was among the nearly 180 people who set up blankets with chairs, some with tents and some with picnic lunches, Monday at the Tiger River Foundation property in southern Spartanburg County to watch the total eclipse. Now, Lytle and Mackenzie came to the event with Lytle's mother, Ann of Spartanburg, and Daisy Waldrop of Cedartown, Georgia. And donning their special eclipse sunglasses, both laid on a blanket as the sun dimmed, and Eric Lytle waited for total darkness before popping the question. He said, I figured, what the heck? We've been talking about it, why not do it during the eclipse? So he got engaged with his sweetheart. She said she thought he'd never ask, and she said yes. He asked me, and I told him I would. We did it right in the middle of the eclipse with a little corona around it. They kissed and they hugged. We're now engaged, said a smiling Lytle. The couple hasn't picked a wedding date yet. Lytle said he plans to give Mackenzie an engagement ring when they return to Raleigh area today. It was one once-of-a-lifetime experience wrapped in another. Nearby others who watched the first and possible the last total solar eclipse in their lifetime said they couldn't have missed it for anything. So they got engaged during that time. I thought that's kind of sweet. All right, we got to take a little pause here for the cause. Update you on some sports news. When we come back, we'll talk about all these Confederate statues being torn down and moved, and Governor of North Carolina wanting to have all of them moved out of the state. See what you think about that, and I want to take your phone calls to get your response right after we get back from sports news. So think about what you'd like to comment on.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Are you ready for some football? College style? The season begins Saturday, and the preseason top 25 college poll is out.
At the top, Alabama's Crimson Tide for the second straight year. It's the first team to have consecutive AP preseason number one rankings in 12 years. It's also the 9th year in a row the Tide has been ranked in the preseason top 5. Number 2 is the Ohio State Buckeyes, followed by Florida State, Southern Cal, and last year's national champs, Clemson, rounding out the top 5. Jim Chenevey, CBS News.
Cam Newton and wideout Curtis Samuel, the team's rookie second-round draft pick, are on pace to play Thursday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars after missing the first 2 preseason games while rehabbing from injuries.
Cam look good. We're feeling good about it.
Two-time All-Pro center Ryan Khalil also participated in practice Monday after he sat out 2 games with a shoulder injury and could not play. Earlier this year, team owners voted to eliminate the first cut-down period that forced teams to trim their roster to 75 before the final preseason game, so all of those players are still available to Ron Rivera, and he's talking about what he's seeing from the prospects who are on the bubble and what he took away from the last preseason game against the Titans.
There was a lot of pluses. There really were, and some guys really stepped up. As I said, one of the things that we're looking for during training camp is to find out who's going to step up and be playmakers. I think a number of guys kind of said, hey, watch me. So that was good.
At the end of the preseason, there will be 1 roster cut down from a 90-man roster to 53 players on the inactive and inactive list. That deadline is September 2nd. And the NFL, they continue to deal with players remaining seated during the playing of the national anthem. More than a dozen Browns players huddled together on the team's bench last night to protest the anthem. The group included veterans, rookies, starters, and backups. This is NCN Sports.
Are you ready for some football? The Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is ready to kick off another season. Visit BigTailgateTour.com and see when we're at your favorite school this year. We'll kick off the season next weekend with the Battle of the Carolinas as the NC State Wolfpack travels to Charlotte to take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Plan on stopping by to register for a free 1-year subscription to the ACC Sports Journal and pick up free koozies and t-shirts from Continental Tire, as well as other items from Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue and Sport Clips. Continental Tire reminds you to drive with care on your Continental Tires as you head to the game or anywhere this week.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is on track to maintain his place at the table for the next round of collective bargaining between the league, owners, and players, a process that's sure to be contentious. The NFL is working out a 5-year contract extension for Goodell. His contract is up after the 2019 season. A new deal would secure his position through 2024. Social media posts from Ric Flair's daughter and his manager explain that the WWE legend's health is improving after his hospitalization and surgery on August 14th. Flair's daughter, Charlotte, posted on her Instagram account Monday, echoing her father's improving condition. Flair was rushed to a Georgia hospital on August 12th. Sports Illustrated reported that Flair did not undergo heart surgery, nor did he suffer a heart attack. What was thought to be an intestinal blockage wound up requiring part of his bowel be removed. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Baby, and it's time to make a final push.
We're starting that a little bit sooner because we have to.
Wow.
Hopefully we get a win, get in the playoffs. Really, that's what I'm concentrating on.
There's really no excuse for not meeting expectations.
I feel like what would be really neat would be to go take off and be flying while it happens.
Mark Caro and PRN's Garage Pass.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. That's 800-605-1682.
Here at Bristol, Joey Logano has a one-track mind, knowing with 3 races left in the Monster Energy Cup Series regular season, only a win will get him into the season-ending playoff. The 27-year-old driver is willing to admit he's under a lot of stress.
That's okay. You know, that's where you find out what you're made out of. So I'm all right with that. That's basically what it's like for every driver that makes the playoffs and every team that makes the playoffs. They have to be better than what they were all year long to get to Homestead and race for a championship. So we're starting that a little bit sooner because we have to.
Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth is currently holding down the 3rd and final spot to make the playoff on points.
We're not in there yet. Kind of got ran over at the end of the race last week by the 24, trying to race him and won at least for points, try to get a cushion. But hopefully we get a win, get in the playoffs. Really, that's what I'm concentrating on.
Kenseth, who has 4 victories here at Bristol, also said he has nothing new to report on finding another ride for 2018. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won the Bass Pro Shops NRA night race back in 2004 and is not about to let last year's injury justify how poorly he's run so far this season.
There's really no excuse, for us not performing well or meeting expectations. There's no excuse for missing a lot of races. Kyle missed a lot of races with his injuries and came back and was successful right out of the gate. I felt like I was ready. I felt like I could come in and compete. I still feel that way. We just got to get our stuff together.
This weekend, Martin Truex Jr. can clinch the Monster Energy Cup Series regular season championship with 2 races to spare, and Brad Keselowski has decided to shut down his truck team at the end of the season.
There's no one in the world quite like you. That's why your search for a car is more than just, the search for a car. It's about finding the perfect car for you. The right car to carry you on the journey to your dreams. At AutoTrader, you can compare new and used cars and save your searches along the way. AutoTrader will send you cars that match what you're looking for, and they'll even let you know when the price drops on a car you've saved. AutoTrader, the only car search engine driven by you.
Like millions of people, Chase Elliott is going to view the upcoming solar eclipse, only he's got a different plan than most.
I feel like what would be really neat would be to go fly, go take off and be flying while it happens. So I was going to go do that, possibly, if the weather was good on Monday. I do have a flight to catch Monday night, so if I can make the timing work out, I'd like to go fly and kind of see it from the air.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, brought to you by AutoTrader.com.
When you're looking for a new bike, don't settle for second best, and that's precisely why you want a Honda. And the best place to get your off-road bike, your street bike, four-wheelers, dirt bike, or your new all-terrain vehicles, they got it all. It's E&H Honda in Alexander Mills. The Honda quality and style has been the big seller over these many years. The name E&H Honda has been the place to go for over 25 years because people expect the best from them. For personal hometown service and experience, stop by 122 Blanton Circle, Alexander Mills, Forest City. That's E&H Honda.
We've got a ridge of high pressure upon us again this afternoon. We're going to go mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Still not going to rule out an isolated shower or storm. It's summer. It's hot. Could pop a shower. The high in the low 90s. Tonight, maybe a shower or storm with the approach of our next cold front. It's partly cloudy with a low in the low 70s. And with the front in the area on Wednesday, we'll go partly cloudy. Still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. The high temperature in the upper 80s to low 90s. Behind the front on Thursday, it should be cooler with 70s and 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike. Thank you. It's 8:33. We have 71 degrees. It's climbing pretty fast up to about 90 for a daytime high with a heat index, around 95. Then tonight dropping back to about where we are right now, 72 for the overnight low. Tomorrow a little bit cooler, 88 on Wednesday. On Thursday, 84. On Friday, 82. On Saturday, 81. On On Sunday, 79. It keeps dropping as the days unfold here. But after we get through the isolated thunderstorm activities today and tonight, chances of rain are diminishing all the way through the rest of the week, which is pretty nice since we've got our Foothills Journals in now. We got to get them in the mail and delivered to the various post offices. So we hope the rain sort of holds off till we get all that done anyway. So those that have been anticipating the new Foothills Journal, keep anticipating. In the next few days, you should have it in your mailbox. We get in 20,000, mail out 20,000 of those in homes across the county. Every home doesn't get one, of course, but we get 20,000 of them. Try to send those out, and we hope you'll enjoy that Foothills Journal again this year, as we have been doing now for several years. We anticipate it being another hit with you and your family, so watch out for that. And there's some coupons in there, the various coupons for discounts, so we'll look through the paper for that as well and enjoy as we go. Now, I mentioned earlier, I'd like to get your response this morning. The phone lines are cleared out, 208-73356. I'd like to get your response. What you think about the tearing down of the Confederate monument across the nation, and right here in North Carolina. 4 more North Carolina Confederate statue protesters have been arrested. And you recall that at Durham, when a total of 8 people, they pulled down the Confederate soldier monument there in front of Durham, and 3 of the 8 were in court Thursday. Dante Emmanuel Strabino, I guess it is, and Nigag Lowen Tran and Peter Gilbert, all of Durham, were arrested for pulling down the Confederate monument. And I'm just curious and interested in your input, your take on that. What you think? Should they all be torn down? Should we leave them in place? What's the deal on that? And we'd like to get your comments on the air. We'll put you on the air and talk to you about that very briefly. Because it's interesting in knowing that people are offended. It seems, at least that's what they're saying. I personally think they're being paid to be protesters. I don't know that, but it seems that they're offended. They've been there for a number of years. Why are they now offended by it? Why is it now? They've been up there for years. They're tearing down. They're defacing the Abraham Lincoln Monument in Chicago. Abraham Lincoln has joined George Washington on the list of those targeted by Chicagoans in a national debate over Civil War era monuments. Alderman Raymond Lopez went to Facebook Wednesday night to decry the defaced statue of the nation's 16th president in the Inglewood neighborhood. The giant bust appears to have been damaged after someone in the 15th Ward sprayed and ignited a flammable liquid on Abraham Lincoln and wrote various and sundry explicatives about Abe Lincoln. The official's finding came just one day after President Trump stated opposition to tearing down memorials related to America's past with slavery. Now, he's opposed to them tearing down. The governor of our state, our great state of North Carolina, is saying that we ought to pull down all of them. Ought to pull down all the Confederate monuments in the state, wherever they are, and pull them down. And I'm saying, why? Why do that, Governor? Why do that? Is he being pressured by a special interest group? Is he trying to get notoriety nationwide because TV cameras will come talking to him, interview him? Well, here's another governor that feels your pain, and he wants to tear down those monuments. I don't understand this. The logic leaves me somehow or other. I'm just curious to get your thoughts. So if you'll give me a call at 287-3356 and get your thoughts on how you feel about it. Maybe I'm way off base. Maybe I'm one of these that just looking at it differently from you are. But I just think, my opinion, you can have your opinion. I won't fall out with you, whatever your opinion is. Perhaps you think that we should get rid of all those things out of history like that. Maybe you think that it's absurd and asinine that they're trying to pull them down. Maybe you don't care one way or the other. Maybe that's where we are in our nation. People have cared, I don't care one way or the other. And so we're allowed to let the minority folks move in and do what they want to do, and we're afraid to make waste. It don't matter to me one way or the other. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other. Let's let them do what they want to do. But it's being done all across the state, and the governor is certainly supportive of tearing down our Confederate soldier monuments and anything having to do with the Civil War, anything having to do with slave owners, they wanted to get rid of. That goes all the way back in history, all the way back. Heather Heyer, 32, was killed at a Charlottesville protest over the removal of a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee last weekend. Police arrested suspect James Alex Fields after he accelerated his car into a crowd. Bishop James E. Dukes of Chicago's Liberation Christian Center responded to Mr. Trump's comments by calling on Mayor Rahm Emanuel to rename Washington Park and remove a statue of the first U.S. president over his ties to slavery. So we're gonna change everything with Washington's name on it. Washington State, Washington Avenue, Washington Boulevard. High schools are named after Washington. All kinds of memorials are named after George Washington. We're going to start changing everything because somebody's offended. Mr. Dukes wrote on his Facebook page, this time, Mr. Dukes wrote on his Facebook page, the Washington Times reported, it's time. Please read my letter to Mayor Rahm Emanuel and the Chicago Park District. I'm calling on them to change the names of Washington and Jackson Park. Slave owners do not deserve the honor of our children playing in parks named after them. There is no way a Native American community would allow a General Custer Park or a Jewish community allow a Gestapo Park in their community. Does that make sense to you? Is anybody calling for a Gestapo Park? He's saying anything that has a name of anybody, Washington, Jackson, anybody like that. Well, what do? If we start doing those kind of things, where's he going to stop? Do we take Jesse Jackson and change his last name? He's got a name of Andrew Jackson. He's got a name. Let's change his name to something else. Shouldn't be Jesse Jackson anymore. Should be Jesse whatever. And all the African American leaders whose name happens to be Jackson, we should change Michael Jackson's last name. It should be Michael Smith or whatever. Now, how ridiculous and silly is that? About as ridiculous and silly as tearing down monuments because they happen to have fought in the war between the states. Happen to be Confederate soldiers. It's about as ridiculous as that. Here's a history lesson. Perhaps we went over this already. One of you sent this to me. Your history lesson for the day. Robert E. Lee was married to George Washington's granddaughter. He worked with Grant during the Mexican-American War and became a decorated war hero defending this country. He believed slavery was a great evil, and his wife broke the law by teaching slaves to read and write. After the Civil War, he worked with Andrew Johnson's program of Reconstruction. He became very popular with the northern states, and the barracks at West Point were named in his honor in 1962. He was a great man who served this country his entire life in some form or other. His memorial is now being called a blight. No American military veteran should be treated as such. People keep yelling, you can't change history. Sadly, you can. This is no better than book burnings. ISIS tried rewriting history by destroying historical artifacts. Is that really who we want to emulate? Do we want to be like them and destroy historical artifacts and historical figures just because somebody says they're hurt by that? They're insulted by that? I think, the truth be known, there's only a handful of folks who have a serious feeling about that. Everybody else is mob mentality. Just jumping on, piling on. Oh, yeah, let's get some publicity. Let's pull that statue down, and then we'll go kick it like the statue's going to fill it. Let's give it the finger like the statue's going to see it. This mob mentality is what's taking place, and the press continues to perpetuate it. Didn't happen 2 years ago under the other administration, and those statues stood strong and tall through 8 years of the past administration. It's just part of this whole regime of things to deface and campaign and work to embarrass this president. Anyway, let me carry on. As they tear down this blight, keep these few historical facts in your mind. No military veteran and highly decorated war hero should ever be treated as such. This is not Iraq, and that is not a statue of Saddam. In addition, Lee was also very torn about the prospects of the South leaving the Union. His wife's grandfather, George Washington, was a huge influence on him. He believed that ultimately states' rights trumped the federal government and chose to lead the Southern Army. He believed that ultimately states' rights trumped the federal government and chose to lead the Southern Army. His estate, Arlington, near Washington, D.C., was his home, and while away fighting the war, the federal government demanded that Lee himself pay his taxes in person. He sent his wife, but the money was not accepted from a woman. When he could not pay the taxes, the government began burying dead Union soldiers on his land. The government is still burying people there today. It's called Arlington National Cemetery. Do you want to tear that up also? You want to get rid of Arlington Cemetery that happens to be on that land? Yeah. Make no mistake, this is just the tip of the sword. The next step is the vilification of the founding fathers, Washington, Jefferson, and so forth, as they owned slaves, as did most folks in that era. Where's it coming to? Do you care? Just write it off as, well, more bad news out there, more bad news. Well, somebody could start a letter writing campaign to the governor of North Carolina to say, Governor Cooper, please don't lead the pack, the mob mentality, and have our national memorials torn down. They mean something to the history of where we have come and where we are going. If we were still in that stage of slave ownership, then it might be a different story. We've come a long way from those days. And that's part of our national history. Whether you fought on the north side or the south side, it's still part of our history. We could tell the governor, don't get caught up in this mob mentality. Don't get caught up in this left-wing press that so loves to perpetuate these kinds of thoughts. Governor, be strong. Be stately. Be a leader. And stop this perpetuation of such a cruel, indecent, terrible disaster that's being led through the left across the nation and in North Carolina. You can stop it, Governor. You can put a stop to it. You can step forward and say, this is ridiculous. Let's stop it. But he probably won't do that, but he could if enough pressure from the North Carolina voters, both Democrat and Republican. There are a lot of Democrats who feel the same way I feel this morning. A lot of Republicans feel the same way I feel. Well, let's go to the phones. We have a caller on the phone who'd like to make a comment. Good morning. You're on the air with us live. What do you think about this?
Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. Go ahead.
The issue that you're talking about right now,
yes,
is very near and dear to my heart and everybody that I know. And are we getting a little feedback on this?
Yeah, I'm getting a little crack there on somehow or other.
Yeah, now this.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, it's near and dear to my heart, and a lot of people are silent about it, and I can totally understand why, because the far left is getting all the publicity and is scaring the people to death. Now, as far as the governor, I would recommend a recall on him, but I know that's impossible. But if it has to come about, why don't they do it in Charlotte Asheville, and Raleigh in the big cities. That's where all the evilness is. So it's there. But the reason they do this is because they all want to be politically correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's wrong, they should be Christian correct. But anyway, it's a sad day in our time that this is happening.
Well, you make a valid point. The political correctness is killing our country in terms of our morality and our morale. It's terrible that we have to be so faced with political correctness that we'll do anything just because we don't want to insult somebody.
That's true. That's true. And you know, unlike the lady senator, I don't know why I should call her lady, but the state representative there in Missouri that asked for the assassination of President Trump is beyond belief. Now, I don't like Governor Cooper, but I would never go that far. But I would go as far as to sign a recall petition if it ever came about.
Yeah. How that woman has kept her job even up to this point is beyond me.
Yeah, there's no way that anyone else could have done that. Now, I personally did not like President Obama, but I kept my mouth shut the whole 8 years he was in there and let him run rampant the way he did. And now then we've got a president that is not politically correct, and he has proved it over and over. And he has actually reestablished Christianity in this great nation. After the former president got up and said over and over, this is not a Christian nation. So I think we're losing it, not only spiritually, but politically and all other matters.
You are so right. I do appreciate your calling. Thank you. You make great points. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good comments. Let's go to line 2 here and see what comments. Go ahead. You're on the air with us live. What do you think about this issue?
I'm totally against this taking those monuments down, 100%. And I'd like to tell the governor, if he's so for it, how about him taking them down? Let's see how he'd feel to get out there and take them down. And then, another thing, when they pulled that one down, the lady climbed up there, and they pulled that one down. And to see those people go and kick that monument and spit on it, that's stupidity in the people.
Mob mentality.
Just stupidity. I can't believe that our world has come to this today. But I'm not for that. And we, as people, need to stand up against this and let them hear our rights for a change.
You're so right.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate that. You're absolutely correct. It's time we made a stand and got our rights talked about. It's 8:52. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, with the help of Laura Hodge at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton, you can get all your medicines synchronized. That promotes better compliance. No more trying to remember if you've taken this medicine or not. It takes the pressure off trying to remember what comes next. Ask about the RX Simplicity, or just tell them you want your medicine synchronized. Remember also, Medicine Box of Rutherfordton is the place to get Dr. Comfort therapeutic footwear. You will be able to feel the difference. The Medicine Box of Rutherfordton is the home of the 2 Old Goats lotion for joint pain that's working so well for many people in this area. Stop in and ask about it today at Medicine Box of Rutherfordton, right beside the Napa store, Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton.
At Northland, we're working hard to deliver fast, dependable internet service to our communities and bringing download speeds of up to 100 megabits per second to our neighborhoods. We've invested over $27 million the last 3 years and plan to invest almost $40 million more over the next 3. This investment is backed by our dedicated local team, 24/7 support and reliability you can depend on. Experience more with Northland. Not available in all areas. Commercial services may differ. See getnorthland.com for full details.
Rutherford Orthopedics is dedicated to quality orthopedic care for the people of Rutherford and surrounding counties. Our certified orthopedic surgeons and fellowship-trained podiatric surgeon provide care for joint replacements, fractures, sports rehabilitation, surgical management of arthritis, and general orthopedic problems. For more information on Rutherford Orthopedics, call 828-287-9260 or visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Well, I wish we had more time to talk about this, and we'll do it again. Talk about it. It's going to be an ongoing issue unless somebody puts a stop to it. But I thank you for those calls that came in and others who have called that didn't want to go on the air. We appreciate your comments. So thank you. And it's time to set up and take notice, folks. It's a mob mentality that we got to curb and stop real soon, or it's going to take over everything. Before you know it, they'll be wanting to tear down your house, my house, because we didn't say anything about it, because they're tearing down somebody else's. We sit still, they'll come to us before it's over with. Have a terrific Tuesday. I'll be back to see you bright and early tomorrow morning. So long, everybody.
News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Some of the sailors still remain missing after a collision involving a U.S. destroyer and an oil tanker off Singapore on Monday. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick has an update.
Navy and Marine Corps divers have located some remains in compartments of the USS John McCain. Some of those compartments were flooded when a massive hole was punched into the ship's left rear hull. The Malaysian Navy says it may have also located a body. The Pacific Fleet commander told reporters this morning finding the missing sailors remains a top priority, but an investigation is also now underway into what happened.
With a court-ordered deadline fast approaching, North Carolina lawmakers will seek public comment today on the proposed new political maps released over the weekend by House and Senate committees. Bob Phillips, with a nonprofit Common Cause, told ABC 11 he's afraid a major reform opportunity may be missed.
They could have made history. This would have been their legacy, but they turned back to do what they've always done, exactly what they did in 2011.
Afghanistan's government is applauding President Donald Trump's speed